ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवतां नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन कृतितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीम् भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ततामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्. Out of the 9 Dhyana slokas, this Dhyana sloka is a very significant one because it gives you who is the author, who are the listeners, and what benefits we get out of this after looking to the listening to Bhagavad Gita. So this Bhagavad Gita was a gospel Lord Krishna gave to Partha, Arjuna. And Krishna himself is Bhagavatam Narayana Swayam. He is Narayana himself. And it is written by Vyasena Kritita. And it comes Madhye Mahabharata, in the middle of Mahabharata. And the philosophy is Advaitam, Advaitamrita Varshini. Bhagavad 18 chapters, Aktadashadhyayini. Gita is called Mother. Ambatvam Anusantadami. I pray repeatedly to you, and what benefit I get out of that? Bhagavati Bhavadveshini. Bhavadveshini means she will remove our entire grief, sorrow. Today we are full of sorrows, right from the date of birth. We are so we are undergoing sorrow. What type of sorrow? All types of sorrow. And added to that, we also have fear. Old age. Who will look after me at the old age? Financial problems, stability. But all these will be removed by understanding what Gita philosophy is. And Lord Krishna has been told, Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagat Guru. So he is the universal God, you can call it. Universal. Krishnam Bande Jagat Guru. And what is the contents of essence of Bhagavad Gita? Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogda Gopalanantanaha Partho Vatsat Sudhir Dugdam Gitamrutam Mahate. So it is an essence, cream of all the Upanishad. So we don't have to read each and every Upanishad. This is the cream of the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad. And this Upanishad, the essence was extracted by Lord Krishna and it was given to, that is the milk you can call it, and that was given to Partha, Arjuna. And Arjuna, if you look at the first chapter of Gita, he had the Vishada Yoga. he was in a dilemma. He was totally deluded whether to fight the war or not to fight the war. And then within the 2.5 hours of the 18th chapter, his entire delusion was gone. Nashto mohaha smridirlabdva tvatprasadat mayachyuta. That means with your blessings, stitosmi gatasantehaha, all my delusions are gone. Karishye vachanam tava. Whatever you advised me, I will follow. So this is the real crux and essence of this Bhagavad Gita. We are all very fortunate to have an opportunity to not only read Bhagavad Gita, but also to understand what it contains. The next step is that we have to adopt this, follow this teaching. And once we follow the teaching, we will get self-realization, and then we will get realization. And if that is the topmost bhakti, we talked about 5 levels of bhakti. Jnani bhakti is the most dearest to Bhagavan. So now, in the 12th chapter, it is a summary of all the 5 levels of bhakti. And then finally he says, whatever the Jnani Bhakta or Brahmajnani or Jivan Mukta, his definitions, characteristics are given here. And that characteristics are very natural for him. Whereas those characteristics we should adopt. That is our sadhana. We should follow that to reach that sadhyam. And yes, we have seen from chapter sloka number 13, Advaita Sarvabhutanam Maitra Karunayevacha Nirmamo Nirahankaraha Sama Dukkha Sukha Shami Santushta Satatam Yogi Yadatma Dridanichayaha Mayarpita Manobuddhihi Yo Matbhaktaha Same Priyaha. So now we know who will be the dear Bhakta to Bhagavan. So if I have to qualify to be a dearest Bhakta of Bhagavan, then I should have these characteristics. These whatever is being given from sloka number 13 to sloka number 20. Various values have been given. So we can follow any one of the value. There no need to practice all the values, but any one value. And if we have a fully concentrated bhakti, what will be the benefit? I will just play one short clip of 4 minutes. After that, I will tell you the meanings. டிஎம் காதர் பாஷாட்ட ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்கப்படுகிறது. என்ன கேள்வி? உங்களுடைய கடைசி ஆசை என்ன? காதர் பாஷா சொல்லுகிறார், நான் சாவதற்கு முன்னால் ஹார்மோனியம் வாசிக்க விரும்புகிறேன், ஒரு பக்தி பாடல் பாட விரும்புகிறேன். யாரெங்கே கொண்டு வாருங்கள் சொன்னாங்க. தூக்கு மேடையில கொண்டு வந்து ஹார்மோனிய கட்டைகளை ஹார்மோனிய பெட்டியை வைத்தார்கள். அந்த ஹார்மோனிய கருப்பு வெள்ளை கட்டைகள் மீது விரலை படரவிட்டான் ஹார்மோனிய சக்கரவர்த்தி டிஎம் காதர் பாஷா. அப்படி வாசிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சு ஒரு பாடலை பாடினார். பாடல் என்ன பாடல் தெரியுமா? சுருளிமலை மேலே மேவும் சீலா உன்னை தோற்கடித்தேன் சுப்பிரமணியன் என்று தொடர்கிற பாட்டு. முருகப்பெருமான் மீது
பாடலை பாடுகிறார். அருமை பெரியோர்களே, ராக தாள விநியாசங்களோடு கமகங்களோடும் மிருகாக்களோடும் அந்த பாடலை விஸ்தாரமாக பாடுகிறார் காதர் பாஷா. இங்க யார் யார் அந்த இடத்துல இருந்தா? அந்த சிறை அதிகாரி வார்டன் ஒரு வெள்ளக்காரன், அந்த லிவரை இயக்குற ஒருத்தவன் வெள்ளக்காரன், இறந்த பிறகு தூக்கில இடப்பட்டு இறந்த பிறகு இறந்து விட்டார் என்று நாடியை பார்த்து டெத் சர்டிபிகேட் கொடுக்க வேண்டிய ஒரு டாக்டர் வெள்ளக்காரன். வெள்ளக்காரங்களா இருக்காங்க. இவர் பாட ஆரம்பிக்கிறார். சுருளிமலை மேலே மேலே மேவும் சீலா உன்னை தோத்தரித்தேன் சுப்பிரமணிய வேளா என்கிற பாட்டை விஸ்தாரமாக பாடுகிறார். ராக தாள விநியாசங்களோடு கமகங்களோடு மிருகாக்களோடும் அவர் அந்த பாடலை பாடி முடிக்கும் போது 3/4 மணி நேரம் ஆயிருக்கு. அது ஒரு பாட்டு பாடி முடிச்சாரு. அப்படியே நின்று கேட்டுட்டு இருந்தாங்க வெள்ளக்காரங்க. பாடி முடித்த பிறகு மணியை பார்த்தால் தூக்கிலே போட வேண்டிய நேரம் கடந்து 20 நிமிடங்கள் ஆயிடுச்சு. சிறையில ஒரு விதி இருக்கு, ஏதாவது ஒரு காரணத்தால் உரிய நேரத்தில் தூக்கிலே போடவில்லை என்றால் மீண்டும் நீதிபதியின் முன் நிறுத்தி மறு உத்தரவு பெற்ற பிறகுதான் தூக்கிலே போடணும். அங்க இருந்த சிறை அதிகாரிகள் அந்த வெள்ளக்காரங்க ரொம்ப நியாயமானவங்க போல இருக்கு. இப்பன்னா காது வச்சபடி முன்னால கொஞ்சம் டைமை போட்டு முடிச்சிருப்போம். அங்க மறுநாள் கொண்டு போய் நீதிமன்றத்துக்கு முன்னால நிறுத்துறாங்க. நீதிபதி ஒரு வெள்ளக்காரன். அவர் நேற்று ஏன் தூக்கில் போடலை இவர் ஒரு பாடல் பாடினார், கேட்டுக்கொண்டிருந்தோம், நேரம் போனதே தெரியவில்லை. என்னையா இது? தூக்குல போறதுங்கிறது என்ன? டெய்லி 4 தூக்க போடுறீங்க, அரிதான விஷயத்துக்கு தானே தூக்குல போடுறோம், ஏன் இத தவறு விட்டீர்கள் என்று கேட்டுவிட்டு நீதிபதி சொன்னார். நீதிபதி கேட்டார், அப்படி என்ன பாடினார்? கொண்டு வந்து நிறுத்தினாங்க காதர் பாஷாவை. ஹார்மோனிய பெட்டி கொண்டு வந்து வைக்கப்பட்டது. அருமை நண்பர்களே, மீண்டும் ஹார்மோனிய சக்கரவர்த்தி இசைக்க ஆரம்பித்தார். அதே பாட்டு, சுருளிமலை மேலே மேவும் சீலா உன்னை தோத்தரித்தேன் சுப்பிரமணிய வேளாங்கிற பாட்டு. மீண்டும் 3/4 மணி நேரம் அப்படியே சைலண்ட். குண்டூசி விழுந்தா கூட கேட்கும், அவ்வளவு அமைதியாக கேட்கிறார்கள். அங்க ஒரே ஒரு குரல் மட்டும்தான், ஹார்மோனிய சத்தமும் காதர் பாஷாவுடைய குரலும். 3/4 மணி நேரம் அப்படியே கேட்டுக் கொண்டிருந்த போது அந்த வெள்ளைக்கார அதிகாரியினுடைய கண்களிலே இருந்து 2 சொட்டு கண்ணீர் கீழே விடுத்தது. அவன் பேனாவை எடுத்து எழுதினான், இப்படி உருக்கமாக பாடுகிற இவன் ஒருபோதும் கொலை செய்திருக்க வாய்ப்பே இல்லை, இவனை விடுதலை செய்கிறேன். அருமை பெரியவர்களே, இதில் ஒரு நுட்பத்தை நீங்கள் கவனிக்க வேண்டும். பாடியவன் ஒரு இஸ்லாமியன். பாடப்பட்ட பாடல் முருகப்பெருமானின் மீது. அதை கேட்டு கிறங்கி நின்றவர்கள் தமிழே அறியாத கிறிஸ்தவர்களாகிய ஆங்கிலேயர்கள். இசைக்கு, கலைக்கு மொழி இல்லை, தேசமில்லை என்பதை நிரூபிக்கிற ஒரு நிகழ்வு இது. இன்றைக்கு மதங்களுக்கு இடையிலே சண்டை மூட்டிவிட்டுக் கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய கொடூரமான கொலைகாரர்கள் இன்றைக்கு அதிகாரத்தோடு இருக்கக்கூடிய இந்த காலத்தில் நாம் இந்த செய்தியை மீண்டும் மீண்டும் உறக்க பேச வேண்டி இருக்கிறது என்பதை நீங்கள் நினைவில் வைத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள்.
So you can now see to what extent our bhakti, devotion, will help us. As he rightly said, bhakti has no language, bhakti has no limitation, no caste, and Kadar is singing about Lord Muruga, song of a Muruga. So this is what we should have. Bhakti means this is what bhakti is. There was one Swami, or you can call it a saint. He was sitting in front of the entrance of the temple. So when the pujari goes inside, the priest goes inside, this Swami will do a namaskar. And after that pujari finishes his puja, when he comes out, then also he will do a namaskar. This he was doing it for almost a week. Then that pujari he said, I am doing my job because I have been paid for this. I have no bhakti or anything, but I've been asked to do this puja. So I throw some flowers, I throw some waters, and do some prasad and offer of prasad and all that. So why you are doing namaskara to me? And that, as Swami said, I am not doing namaskara for you. When you enter inside the temple, the God is already scared of you and he goes out. So to that God, I am doing a namaskara. Similarly, when you go out of the temple after doing the puja, because that is your job, then the God is waiting to enter. So at that time, I do another namaskara. So nowadays, we can see the puja is nothing but a ritual. There's no bhakti involved inside. Not all the pujaris, but 99% of the pujaris are. If you offer something extra, then they will the mantra will be loudly chanted, and they will give a garland, rose garland. This is very common in most of the temples in South India. So that means bhakti is not what we saw outside. It's not that the duration of the pujas we do, or the type of prasad we offer, or the ornaments we offer to the God. This is not the measure of your bhakti. So real bhakti is patram pushpam balam toyam yome bhaktya prayachadi tadakam bhaktyupakritam asnabhi prayatatmanaha. So even if a leaf or some water or a flower, that is enough. But the attitude, with what attitude you are offering to me. Again he says, Yat karoshi yadasnasi yat yuhoshi dadasi yate yat tapasyati kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Even every activity what we are doing, they are all, if you offer them to Bhagavan, that itself is your bhakti. That is the attitude. So Bhagavad Gita, we have been seeing this. This is a chapter from 9, these slokas. So every chapter has got very, very important points for us to remember and at the appropriate time. Last class, Natarajan talked about the various types of bhayam from Niti Shataka. So that means we are scared of income tax people if you got too much of money. We are scared of old age because our beauty, everything is gone. The total cosmetic industry today is surviving because we want to, even at the age of 90, we want to look like young. So that means bhakti, abhayam is bhakti. So we should have abhayam. From abhayam, how will you get abhayam? Because you need vairagya. So that's what Natarajan talked about in the last class. So now, continuing from that class, यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैः मुक्तः यः स च मे प्रियः. See, in all these 7 slokas, who is dearer to Bhagavan? Harsh, yasmanno dvijate lokaha. That means a jnani is not scared of the world. Whatever happens to the world, no impact on him. And also, wherever he is there, there is no bhayam at all. He will also not create any problems for others. Lokanno udvijate chayah. Then he said, harsha, amarsha, bhaya, udvegaihi, muktaha, yaha sachame priyaha. So this also, Sri Natarajan explained it very clearly. That 4 qualities, harsha, elation, amersha, depression, bhayaha, he said, udvegaihi. That means all these arise, without any effort of ours. And in the Gita, he says, come what? I should never allow lose my Viveka Shakti. That means when I am elated or when I am depressed, what happens is these are all mental emotions. When I say mental emotions, we lose our freedom. We lose our freedom means we lose our discriminative capacity, that Viveka Shakti. See, the mind is a very peculiar instrument we have. We have been provided by. What does the mind do? In the normal case, all these five indriyas, panchindriyas, they are designed in such a way that it will all the time go outside because their food is outside. Agatvesha viyuktaistu, he says, they are attracting him. And that is the job of Maya. You don't want to go there, but you will be forced to go there because of Maya. So the emotions of likes and dislikes. So when I see a sweet dish, sometimes I like. Sometimes people think I don't like. It depends upon the mood of the fellow. So the likes and dislikes are originated in the mind. Yeah, all of us have got a mind. So sometimes when a visitor comes to our house, I am very happy. But another time, the same visitor comes, I will unhappy. Why he has come? So these disturbances, what you call as, they are common. It is not what you have done, it is Maya's work. Maya, delusion, maximum delusion. And Bhagavan himself says in the 7th chapter, Jaivi Shesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. He says Mama Maya. You can see now. Mama Maya means Bhagavan says it is my Maya. That means Maya is not different from Bhagavan. Maya needs a dependent area, item. So Mama Maya Duratyaya, very difficult to cross. So for that, we have to put lot of efforts. Then only it is possible to cross this Maya. Maya Mesham Tarantite. When you surrender to Bhagavan, that means you are going to the boss. The boss of Maya is Bhagavan. So if you are not able to cross the Maya boss, then you go to his boss, Bhagavan. Maya Metam Tarantite. You are incapable of crossing this Maya unless and until we surrender to Bhagavan. There are, we would have seen in some of the cricket matches and all that, especially when India is playing with Pakistan, 5-test series, 2 tests each has won. On the third test, last ball, 1 hour, 6 runs required. What a tense moment. We will be concentrating on that last ball. Forget about everything. You are totally immersed in that game. Who will win? Who will not win? So naturally what happens is India won the match. So when India wins the match, this fellow is super elated and heart attack and dies. This we have seen. This is what is called harsha and amarsha. Both can happen in elation as well as in depression. There's a classical example of one patient, heart patient, is in ICU. He has bought a lottery ticket, and fortunately he got a prize of 1 crore. And the patient's relations told the doctor, if I tell this to the patient, because of joy he will collapse. So you have to tell him properly, peacefully. So the doctor said, don't worry, I will tell you. So he went to the patient. Suppose you win 1 lakh lottery, what will happen? How will you? He said, no, no problem, I will spend. Then the doctor said, if you get 1 crore, what will happen? Then he said, I give you 50 lakhs because you are saving my life. And the next moment, doctor collapsed. Again, doctor was elated because he never expected this reply from that patient. So that means too much elation, too much depression, that is a very, very bad significance. That way he says in the 6th chapter, Dhyana Yoga, Yuktahara Viharasya, Yukta Chetasya Karmasu, Yukta Swapnava Bodhasya, Yogi Bhavati Dukkaha. So he says, you be moderate in every activities, whether it is sleep, whether it is entertainment, whether it is taking food. In all these activities, we have to be moderate. That's what he said in the 6th chapter. We have seen, people, they are not able to get out of the depression. Now you see lot of people at the age group of 75, 80, what is dementia? Dementia is nothing but absolute, full depression. And how the depression comes? Because we have earned it. It is not natural. It is not happening. We have cultivated that depressive attitude maybe for a long time, and ultimately it consolidates into one situation which is giving you this dementia. So that means we should know how to relax. That is the most important thing. Now we have seen medical advancement. With great medical advancement, till now the doctors have never made the physical body immortal. We have never seen any immortal physical body. I mean, doctors are also helpless. In some of the operation theater, the cardiologist, who operates the patient, he will, before he starts the operation, he makes a prayer that this operation should be successful. What it be successful, he doesn't know. But either the patient may collapse or the patient may survive. So even he depends on Bhagavan's gratitude, grace. So these 4 Harsha, Bhaya, Udvegaihi, Muktaha. Muktaha means free from. Yaha Sacha Me Priyaha. He is the most dearest member of mine. Udvegaha can be mental disturbance. It can be sorrow. It can be anxiety. And it can be caused by abhayam, fear. Now we go to sloka number 16. अनपेक्ष श्रुतिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारंभ परित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः अनपेक्षः शुचिः दक्ष उदासीनः गतव्यतः. So there are 5 values here. Sarvaramba Parityagi, sixth one. Yo Matbhaktaha Same Priyaha. Now he says, this is a Jnani has all these naturally with him. There's no need for him to practice. It is natural for him. Anapeshaha. Anapeshaha means no desire, non-desiring, non-expecting. See, when I do some work, I expect some result. Either the result will automatically come. You don't have to do anything. It can be a pavam or it can be a punyam, depending upon the sankalpam. See, we all, before we start a puja, we do a sankalpam. So that sankalpam says what I want. So sometimes you may achieve, sometimes you may not achieve. Sometimes you will get mixed fruits, mixed phalam. So this only shows devotion makes one rest upon the Supreme with full reliance. Devotion makes one rest upon the Supreme with full reliance. As Supreme is omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent, when he knows everything, where is the need for us to ask specifically for this particular benefit? Anytime. Only when the mind is rid of desires, it becomes pure. Such a pure mind alone becomes worthy of inviting the right blessings and fruition every time. As I told you earlier, whenever I look outside the world of objects, that is because of Maya. So Maya is preventing me from looking inside. So that is Maya. The moment you start looking inside, Maya has no power. Because then once you go inside, that is what is called Atma Jnanam. And that is why, the consciousness is located, indicated in our heart. Hridaya Sthanam. So that means the mind, instead of looking outside, it will go inside. So once it goes inside, it has a resting place. Where is the resting place? In the heart. So that means we have two types of mind. One mind, which is, you can call it a relative mind, enjoying the objects of the world. The other mind is supra mind, they call it. Supra mind is nothing but consciousness. So in Kena Upanishad, there is one sloka, Pratibodha Vichitam Matam Atmana Vintate Murdam. Pratibodha Vichitam Matam. That is, every thought we have has got two parts. One part is the inert portion, and the other is the consciousness. So the mixture of this is making us to understand what we are seeing. If you really know the distinctiveness between the thought and the consciousness, and you concentrate on the consciousness, so that gives you amritam, immortality. That is what is told in the Pratibodha Vichitam Matam. 1 minute, I'll just read out this sloka. Pratibodha Vichitam Matam Amrtatvam hi vintate. That means you will only get amritam, immortality. Atmana vintate viryam, vidyaya vintyate amritam. So that means you should concentrate on not on the nama rupa, but you should concentrate on the inner portion. That means the mind has to be pulled back to look inside. That is called Tattvajnana. So the Gita is trying its level best to turn our attention 180 degrees from outside to inside. Then he says, in Bhajagovindam, there are some beautiful slokas. The last sloka is called Guru Charanambuja Nirbara Bhaktaha Samsarat Achirat Bhava Muktaha Sendriyamanasa Niyamadevam Rakshyasi Hridayastam Evam. Guru Charana Ambuja Nirbara Bhaktaha Samsarat Ajirat Bhava Muktaha. So if you surrender 100% to Bhagavan, that is Guru, you will be totally removed from the sorrows of samsara. Samsara ajirat, immediate, bhava mukta. And again he says in the sloka number Sukataha kriyate Rama bhogaha Pachat khamta sharire rogaha Yadyapi loke maranam sharanam Tadapi namunchati papa charanam. Sugataha kriyate Rama bhoga. We are fully indulged in bhoga. Rama bhogaha. Then what happens? Pachathamda sharire rogaha. Then we suffer from rogas, diseases. Yadyapi loke maranam sharanam. We are all 100% sure that death is definitely going to take for this body, not for the Atma. Tadapi namunchati papa charanam. Even in that situation, we are not willing to give up our papa karmas. सुखदः क्रियते रामाभोगः पश्चात्कं शरीरे रोगः यद्यपि लोके मरणं शरणं तदपि न मुञ्चति पापाचरणम्. Then also he says the other genesis, the problem we are facing is again Bhajagovindam. Kamam, Krodam, Lobam, Moham. Kama is desire, Krodam is anger, Lobam is greed, Moham is delusion. Tyaktvatmanam pashyati soham. Renounce all the above and look at inside. Pashyati saha aham. Atmajnana vihina mudaha. If you do not have this Atmajnanam, Patyande Naraka Nigudaha. They are the people who are roasted in Narakaloka. It's a symbolic way of expressing that Narakam is nothing but our innumerable sufferings we can have. And we see in our own day-to-day life, both in Nana as well as in our own realistic life of our relations, we can see the suffering. Last Wednesday, this is a small example. I had to go to Madras because my wife's cousin brother died on Wednesday morning, and he is 3 months senior to my wife. They were all brought up together, and this man was suffering for the last 17 months. His last visit was to our place in Coimbatore in last May 2023. He spent 1 week with us. He was very happy. And then when he went back to Chennai, they found that his problem was bone marrow. Hemoglobin was fluctuating between 6 and 8. very poor, and the platelet count also was very low. And for 17 months, every month, every 15 days, some blood infusion was given to him, and they also gave for the platelet to increase another injection. And doctors, we consulted a lot of specialists as well as US doctors. They said there is no cure for this. He has to be like this only. The only thing is how long he will drag with this type of life is to be seen. And he dragged for nearly 17 months. And in the last 1 month, all the functions started dropping down. Ultimately, he passed away. So we are seeing death in our own life in front of us. He has died. Nobody could save him. And the family was praying in the last moment that he should pass away peacefully without further suffer. They are very well off, and what is the way of life? He has his life. I used to advise him. He is an addict of TV serials. I mean, he has to spend some time here and there. I used to tell him, I said, please divert yourself. Moderate. View TV, but be moderate. Not in indulging in the viewing. He is a believer of God, but that bhakti was at the lowest level, first level, not at the fifth level. So this is life. So what should we learn from these experiences? That we are also prone to such situations. Anytime it can happen. So be prepared right from now. That is, whatever days are remaining for us, we should have an attitude of bhavam, that nothing belongs to me. This body is not mine. The mind is not mine. They are all be given as a gift for me to enjoy. And when in the last moments, I have to give it back with a thanks note. That's what Niti Shastakam says. It is like, in a rented house. So when you want to leave, the rented house does not belong to you. You don't own it. So you have been using it for payment of a certain amount. So this is the life. Please visualize this in our day-to-day activities. Full Bhajagovindam gives you what he says we should have freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom has gone now. So when the Britishers left, when we got the independence in 1947, what is the situation today? Americans want to enjoy daytime. They will work only in the daytime. They will not work in the nighttime. So when their day is there, our time is night. And here we toil in the night. We sacrifice all our activities for the sake of earning money. So somebody asked me when he will do Sandhya Vandanam, morning Sandhya Vandanam, because he gets up only 10 o'clock in the night. So that means we have become not free from, the country may have freedom, but we have not been freed. We are still depending upon such professional work and all that, and no normal food, no this thing, and their behavior is almost like a asuric sampat. We are seeing everywhere, and that is why at the age of 30 itself, 30 or 45, between 30 and 40, they are already given, all the energies have been squeezed out of that body. So that is what freedom we need is, yes, there should be a moderation. Enough. So he has used, so Four words. Anapekshaha means independent. Dakshaha means efficient. Gatavyataha, undisturbed from, free from sorrow. Sarvaramba Parityagi, free from all selfish activities. Normally, what happens is when you're tense, if you ask a smoker, when he's tense, he will lit one cigarette and he says, my tension is being released. And he says, tension, the cigarette smoking gives me freedom from tension. A wrong expectation. So all our activities should be non-binding. Non-binding means if you expect something, either the punyam or papam, that is called binding. So when it is non-binding, it is karma yoga. I mean, I am doing work for Bhagavan's sake, and whatever I receive from Bhagavan, that is a prasada. That is the attitude. So there will not be any hatred. Today we have hatred all around. So Bhagavan says, I have uninterrupted love supply. We have we call it UPS now here. When the power supply goes, UPS will be there, uninterrupted power supply. But Bhagavan says, I am giving you uninterrupted love supply. But why don't you use it? It will never get exhausted. So you can also give to others unlimited. Even then it will be there. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. So that means we have 100% unlimited supply of love. But even to give that love to others, we think whether that fellow deserves my love. We take a measurement. Please get out of we should get out of this thinking. So he says, inaction is wrong. I mean, you have to be active and you cannot remain without activity. Reaction is also wrong. If somebody gives you a bad word or something, we immediately react. So that is also wrong. Then what is required is called appropriate action. Appropriate action means ahimsa. So ahimsa should not be abused. We should not abuse the ahimsa. So this appropriate response with the help of a mind which is unclouded, not deluded by raga and dvesha is called dakshatvam. Dakshatvam means the one who is never get upset because his mind is stable, sthira buddhi. And now we go to the last sloka, 17th sloka of today's class. That is यो न हृष्यति न त्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान्यः समे प्रियः. यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान्यः समे प्रियः. More or less he is repeating each and every aspect of it in a different manner. We have seen the word Krishyati. And but here he is talking about dvantas, dual feelings, dvanta. Yo na krishyati na shochati. Third word you should use. So either krishyati or shochati. elated or sorrowful. So these are the two emotions normally we have. Sometimes when we are so elated, sometimes when we are so depressed, so sorrow. So this duality is again a creation of your mind. Again, he talks about another two pairs, na dveshti, na kamshati. Na dveshti, na kamshati. So you do not desire anything, then you will not expect anything also. So that means, and then Shubha Parityagi. Shubha Ashubha. Shubha means Punyam. Ashubha means Papam. Parityagi means renouncing. Somebody will say, how can I renounce Shubha, Punyam? In the 18th chapter, he has said, I will tell you on my Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja Akam Tvam Sarvapapebhyo Mokshayishyami Mahashuchaha. Sarvadharman Parityajya. He said dharma and adharma. Both you have to renounce. Then what happens? Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Seek me only, nobody else. Akam Tvam Sarvapapebhya Mokshayishyami Mahashuchaha. Bhagavad Gita starts with Shochati and ends with Mahashuchaha. So, Lord Krishna is talking about a Jnani Bhakta. So he says that the devotee should not allow his mind to be victimized, constricted, or subdued by dvantas. So we are talking about dvantas, pair of opposites. So if I have to be free from dvantas, because that is one which is robbing my mind, and I am a victim of that one, then my mind becomes constricted. Karpanya doshobhagata swabhavaga. This is what Arjuna said in the second chapter. My mind is constricted. I am not able to think what is right, what is wrong, because my dvantas have taken over my intellect, and my intellect is no more functional. So I go through the constrictions of that non-viveka, non-discriminative capacity. So this is what we call as spiritual devotional pursuit. Spiritual devotional pursuit means turning our mind from external object to internal look, has the sole aim of making the seeker's mind non-dependent on the external world for its delight, stability, and fulfillment. So that means spiritual devotional pursuit has the sole aim of making the seeker's mind non-dependent on the external world for its delight, stability, and fulfillment. And we are following exactly the opposite now. Because even a small entertainment we want to attend. Not that we should not attend, you should attend. But at the same time, it should be at your back of your mind. This is not my aim. My aim is I have to be free from this body, mind, intellect attachment. And then he says, the thoughts are coming from our mind. Our mind has the capacity to originate thoughts, generate reactions, and brings forth various responses. It has equally the potential to refine, sublimate, and unify all these and preserve homogeneity. That means mind has got both qualities. So it is up to us which mind we should use, how the mind should be utilized. Our mind has the capacity to organize, originate thoughts, generate reactions, and brings forth various responses. It has equally the potential to refine, sublimate, and unify all these and preserve the homogeneity. And the most important part of the spiritual sadhana to be receptive to the exposure, to reflect upon it, and orient the mind and intelligence accordingly. That means we have to integrate the mind and the intellect. That means sense organs will try to pull you out because of Maya, and the mind will obey with the sense organs. And intellect, buddhi will be left alone, and the buddhi also will think, let me not be a separate body, let me also support these people. So buddhi joins them. So that means a total collapse of the entire system, physical system, and that is what is happening. But if the buddhi says, the discriminative power says, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the intellect, then nothing can, the mind and the sense organs will be left with nothing, nobody. So they will obey finally. So that is what he says, spiritual devotional quality. If the mind is the originator of these contradictions, it can as well be free of them. It can rise above both. Spiritual devotional life inspires the mind to strike the sovereign transcendental homogeneous level above dvantas. So we should get rid of dvantas. That's what he says in the sloka number 17, 18, 19. He is talking only about dvantas. So what dvantas can damage is much more than the other one. Our total problem is expectation, anxiety. I expect, my son to be well employed. He gets a good wife. They will be obedient to us. So these are all the expectations. But most of the time, those expectations never get fulfilled. It'll be the other way. So when it is other way, what happens? We get disappointments. So the Bhagavad Gita says, hope for the best, be prepared for the worst. Hope for the best, be prepared for the worst. This is like a shock absorber. So shock absorber means we should have the mental strength. Mental strength has to be developed. It will not come overnight. For that, we should have that experiences, various experiences of the world, and we should learn from those experiences to strengthen the mind. If I do punya karma, the advantage is my mind will become pure, chitta shuddhi. And chitta shuddhi will have a clarity in my thinking. And when I have a clarity in my thinking, my viveka shakti will increase. And once my discriminative capacity is going up, then I am the right line and the right path. So we will continue next Thursday, the remaining three slokas, 18, 19, and 20. With that, the chapter will be over. So this sloka number, from sloka number 13 to 20, they are only giving the various, how a jnani is seeing this world. And that gives us an opportunity for us to cultivate those habits. That will be our sadhana. So we do such sadhanas so that we can also become like a jnani. And if we become a jnani, he is free from everything. Self-realization. ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम।